My dear friend, how many times have you promised yourself, starting tomorrow, everything will be different?
How many times have you set a goal, a resolution to change, to wake up earlier, eat healthier, or stop procrastinating? You made a detailed plan. You felt fired up. You believed that this time you would really do it. But then, a week passed, a month passed, and suddenly you realized you were standing still, right at the starting line. The enthusiasm vanished, replaced by something painfully familiar, disappointment in yourself. You ask, why am I so weak? Why can others do it, but I can't? Is it that I cannot change? If you're feeling this way, I want you to know one thing. You are not alone. And more importantly, the problem isn't that you cannot change. The problem is that you can't change yet. That tiny word, yet, holds a world of understanding. We often think change is a battle of willpower, that if we just try harder, we'll succeed. But the truth is, willpower, like a muscle, gets tired. You don't fail because you're lazy, you fail because you're fighting invisible forces far stronger than willpower. Today, we won't talk about 5-step secrets or 7 days to change. We'll talk about the truth. The real reason you're still struggling and why you can't change yet. The biggest barrier is your own brain. The brain was not designed to make you happy, it was designed to keep you safe. And safe, in the language of the brain, means familiar. Scientists call this homeostasis. Your brain likes what it knows, even if what it knows makes you miserable. When you decide to change, to wake up early or exercise, you break that balance. You trigger an alarm. Your brain doesn't say, "Great, we're improving." It says, "Danger, something's wrong, return to normal immediately." That's why the 5 a.m. alarm feels like torture. That's why the cake looks 10 times more delicious when you're on a diet. It's not weakness, it's your ancient defense system working perfectly to keep you in the safe zone. You are fighting millions of years of evolution with just that morning's willpower. That's an unfair fight. The second barrier is fear. Not the fear of failure, everyone fears that, but the fear of success. Sounds absurd, right? Why would we fear the very thing we want? But think about it. What if you actually change? What if you succeed? Change brings new demands. Success brings new responsibilities. If you become better, stronger, more confident, people might expect more from you. And that's terrifying. Deep down, a voice whispers, "But what if I can't handle it? What if I fall harder next time?" So we stay safe. We sabotage ourselves just to avoid the pain of success. But even if you conquer your fears, there's one final fortress, the strongest of all, your identity. You don't just have bad habits, you believe you are your bad habits. You believe you're a procrastinator, a night owl, a lazy person. And when your actions conflict with your identity always wins. It's like installing new software on an old operating system. It just doesn't work. You can't live a new life with the same old story about yourself. The real battle isn't with the cake or the snooze button, it's with the story you keep telling yourself. Every failure reinforces the same belief. See? I told you, I can't change. It's a loop, painful, endless, familiar. So, why can't you change yet? Because you're using the wrong weapons. You use willpower to fight survival instincts. You use plans to fight invisible fears. And you try to act differently while believing you're still the same. You don't fail because you're weak. You fail because you're fighting your own psychological current. So what's the key? if not willpower? The answer is in the word yet. Yet means this is a process, not a switch, and that process begins with self-awareness. Stop forcing change. Start observing yourself. Become a scientist of your own mind. When you procrastinate, don't judge, get curious. Ask, what's happening right now? What emotion am I avoiding? When you can't wake up early, don't say, I'm lazy. Ask, am I afraid of the new day or just not sleeping enough? And most importantly, start rewriting your identity. Don't say, I'm a procrastinator. Say, I'm learning to value my time. Don't say, I'm lazy. Say, I'm building self-discipline. Every tiny action is a vote for the person you want to become. A healthy person doesn't start with a marathon. They start by taking the stairs or drinking water instead of soda. Each small action whispers to your brain, hey, I'm changing. This is the new me. Change doesn't come from one giant leap. It comes from thousands of tiny votes, day after day, until one day, the scale of your identity tips completely toward the version you desire. My dear friend, you cannot change, you just haven't learned how, yet. You're not broken, you're human. You're just carrying an outdated identity that no longer fits you. Stop blaming yourself for past failures. They're not proof of weakness, they're data. They show you what doesn't work so you can finally discover what does. You can't change yet until you stop fighting yourself and start understanding yourself. Rewrite your story one word at a time, one day at a time, and you'll see change was always possible.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss a video.